Oh, I am obsessed. I'm obsessed with your shoes. I'm obsessed with your show. I'm so glad that you're here, and congrats on your one-woman show.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
It's been great doing it, and I've actually done it really all around the world.
Yeah, I was going to say, where was there one stop in particular that you were like, this is incredible? Here I am doing this one-woman show in.
Well, I loved doing it in Paris. At the Folies Bergère, and also at the London Palladium. So those were definitely pinch me moments.
Absolutely.
Because, you know, of course I never thought, you know, I would end up on stage doing my own, performing my own one woman show.
And to be doing it alone.
60s.
I mean, you're such an icon. To create this series, create a series that's truly iconic, that people still watch to this day. It's truly like comfort food. You created all these incredible characters, and now you get to be on stage, just like you said, in your 60s, doing this show all by yourself. That's so impressive. Tell me a little bit. I mean, I'm sure you get this question all the time, but I have to know. How, like, when you created these characters and you yourself, how much of your real life was actually part of that series? Was it like 50%? Was it 90%?
You know, it's a little bit hard to say, because definitely at the beginning there was, I feel like there was so much of my life in the show. And in fact, in the stage show, I play a game with the audience, real or not real, because there are so many things that happened in the TV show that happened in my real life, but they're better or worse, and they usually have to do with men who Carrie dated, and I did date a lot of, you know, pretty much similar guys, but they're usually not quite as attractive as they are on TV.
Well, listen, I think
that's life.
I think it's great. It was so relatable what you wrote for women, and especially at the time to be talking about sex like that. You paved the way for all of these other shows to do that. Did you ever think, when you're writing your books and you're creating these characters, did you ever think Sex and the City would be what it is, even still to this day?
I didn't, and I don't think that anybody did, but it resonates so much with audiences, and I think for that everybody is really grateful. But it is a little bit like lightning in a bottle. You can't really plan for it, so it's you know, everything kind of going right. And you know, women still come up to me today, young women, and say that Sex and the City has meant so much to them in their lives, and it helped them through a difficult time or gave them a different way to think. So that's really fantastic.
Sister, preach, okay? Sex and the City was my Bible at one point when I was going through so many dating disasters. When you do this one-woman show, what is the experience like for the guests? What is the audience in store for?
Well, audiences have told me that it's very inspirational, which I love. So it's really my life story mixed with the origin story of Sex and the City. So it kind of takes me through when I first arrived in New York until, I mean, really, I'm in my 50s, going through menopause and dating again, and the different kinds of guys that you will meet dating, which is still true.
And in 50s right now, that is the biggest dating pool, apparently. So you're hitting the right demo for sure. I love that. It almost feels like you're kind of taking people through a tour of New York a little bit. And your experience through it.
There is a little bit of that. There's Studio 54, and the stage is set up to be a little bit like my apartment. You know, it has all of my real shoes on stage, and people do come up and take pictures of the shoes, which I love.
Sure, they're absolutely says. Even today, we were like, please let her shoes be showing. I love that you did this, and so this weekend you're going to be in Orange County, correct?
Yes.
And there are still tickets. I know that they offered a few more tickets because people are truly upset. We just did a story earlier about nostalgia and how people really want to go back to the things that made them feel good. And that's what your book did. That's what your show did. And I think that's exactly what this one-woman show is going to do for everyone.
Hopefully. Absolutely, yes.
We all need some positivity, and we also need those relatable stories, which thank God you did that for all of us that were having disaster dating lives like my own.
Yes.
It was so nice to watch that show and read your book and And, you know, it just felt like we weren't alone, you know?
Exactly, exactly. Well, I always say grab your girlfriends and come to the show.
There you go. Well, we will definitely do that. Candace, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
Yeah. And you can get tickets for her one-woman show this weekend at scr.org/plays. Now,